Oh dear. Dutchman has 2 right feet.
Yeah, he's having some operation or something, and
What, they put the wrong foot on him?
he's got 2 right feet or something.
Well, maybe it was only a right foot that was available.
Good dancer.
Yeah. Oh dear.
What
Well,
else?
in real news, I followed that thing with, it was that fella that got into the palace when Bush was there.
Right, an undercover journalist.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been a problem if he was a terrorist. But it's sort of like, and as the palace said, you know, all our tests are to expose terrorists, not journalists.
Yeah.
I just think it was no big deal, really.
Yeah.
And it was a much more bigger deal for
Well,
the journalist than anyone else. It's like, well, okay, well, all the journalists in the world can pop up as long as no terrorists get in.
Yeah.
We're all right.
Exactly.
Yeah. A bloke just got through a terrorist. No, an ice cream seller.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It was like they're waiting hand for thinking, I can't believe it, it's Baz Bammingboim from the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
And I think that's Gary Bushell. That's fine.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But it was just that all he did wrong though was just lied on his CV.
Well, I think he did.
But everyone lies on their CV.
Of course. Of course. Everyone
actually,
gives references.
I don't think I've ever done a CV. I tried to lie. I did one once when I was at ULU and I was an events manager. I applied for a job at Radio 1 for events manager. Didn't even get an interview.
Yeah.
So I just stopped the CV lark.
Sure.
And I just, you know.
The one knocked back and that was
Exactly.
it.
No, well, yeah. So,
You've lied on your CV, have you, Carl?
Yeah, loads.
Yeah.
It's just,
it's like some of them Little Britain. Yeah, no. Yeah, loads. Yeah, go on. Come on.
there was one
Radio,
when,
come on.
there was a job going at Granada. In fact, this isn't even lying, and I still didn't get the job.
Go on.
Right? But,
Well, you
Granada,
don't get a job just because you don't lie. It's not, have you lied? No, you got the job.
Yeah.
No, but there was they ask you loads of stuff, don't they, that you think, well, that's got nothing to do with the job. I don't know why you're bothering me, asking me certain stuff, right?
Qualifications, things like that,
Yeah.
But, well, it was languages,
Yeah.
right?
What did it say?
It just said, you know, put your name, put your address, languages, right? And,
What? Oh, yeah.
And
What, you don't speak any other languages, do you?
well, I just put English, quite good.
You didn't!
No, I did. Honestly, ask Suzanne.
I think you told me this before. Did you really put English quite good?
Yeah, honest to God. Didn't hear that.
Well, you know what they meant now. That you know what your error was, don't you? Are you fluent in French, German, Chinese?
Yeah, but I didn't want them to think I've got loads of big words and that. Do you know what I mean? Well, I don't use loads of big words and stuff.
No, they
There's
meant,
no
do
point.
you speak any other languages?
It's any other languages, Carl, not the
They
one
assume
your
that you
native
can
language.
speak English because you're filling out a form.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's like language is none.
Yeah.
They assume you can speak something, and they probably think it was English. And to put quite good when you are English.
Yeah.
English is your first language, yeah, I'm quite good at it. I see your point though.
It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure quite good is accurate.
No, poor. English,
weak.
poor. Weak. You didn't get the interview, no? What did Suzanne say when you told her you put that?
She just laughed. It was
Really?
too late. It was too late to do anything.
How's her hair? Do you want to talk about it?
Right, she's off today, so
Is it alright, is it? Oh, she's listening, you mean?
she's at home today.
But it's probably alright now, isn't it? Because a bad hair day, it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
last.
but it'll be nice. Well, nice, not today.
You're scared of her, aren't you?
No. I mean, I don't want to...
You've learned your lesson that, you know, you can't talk about people like that. Because it upsets them.
Well, plus I can't do it all now, because we're doing Pulp Fiction later. And it sort of involves her head. So...
Brilliant!
So that's...
Excellent, there's me thinking that you're being considerate.
Yeah.
Or worried about...
We don't want to use up the material until later.
Play a record! Travis. Beautiful occupation. What's the best job you've ever had still, Carl? Talk about occupations. It is still
Paper round.
Is it still the paper round?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No, it was good, though. If you look at it, like, you know, what I liked about it, you're your own boss.
No, you're not. You're not your own boss.
No,
The
guy who runs
news
the news
agent
agency.
is your boss.
Alright. But then once you get out and you've got your papers and that, you sort of, you're on your
Do
own.
what you want
can
as long
think
as you
about
deliver the
stuff.
papers exactly to the places he said you are in the time he said.
Yeah.
It's
And I did.
freedom, isn't it? Any jobs you wouldn't do?
Go
I just thought of one that you wouldn't do
on.
with your sort of mild homophobia.
Well, I'm not.
Proctologist.
What's that?
Basically sticking your finger at other people's arseholes.
Right, well, I wouldn't do that, no. Why have you got to do that?
What do you mean, why have you got to do
Well, why
that?
does anyone need that doing?
Does they got to look if they've got an arseache or something?
Which trainee doctor makes that their speciality?
Do you know what I mean? That must be, right, we got a place for apologies, and it's you, Meadows. You came last.
Oh, seriously, what? I'm not the arse doctor, am I?
Yeah, you came last.
Oh, I'm a bun GP. I can't
yeah,
believe it.
yeah. You got to, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
That must be it, mustn't it?
Well, presumably no one would choose it. No one would purely. If they can have the brain surgery.
Well,
heart-
what if you were brilliant, but you were shy? You couldn't look people in the face.
yeah.
You can you could do anything you want. You know, I just don't want to look at them. I just want to do their asses.
Yeah.
Really? Just want to do the asses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Carl's face. You didn't know there was such a thing as an arse doctor, did you?
No, not really. Specialised. He does nothing all day but that.
Well, he probably has a sandwich about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Washing his hands. What do you mean he does nothing all day but that? You don't say that about a brain surgeon, a thoracic surgeon, do you?
No, but that all day. That's not good, is it?
I love the fact that I can blow his mind.
Yeah.
With just things that people take for granted. A dentist just looks in mouths all day.
Yeah, but that's a bum
What?
job, that bum job.
Just think of that. Oh.
So
Look,
what do you need to know then there?
It's a lot to know.
You gotta have nice nails.
Yeah.
No rough edges.
Well, you'd be alright, because you got that job handing out biscuits to the old people because you had nice hands, didn't you?
So, yeah. And I know a lot about biscuits. I know my biscuits.
Do you?
Yeah, I know which ones they like and that.
Do you? What do they like? What do old people like?
Bourbons, rich
Do they
tea.
really? Because that's my least favourite. I would never eat a bourbon. I could be starving and I wouldn't eat a bourbon.
If you want to let us know what your favourite biscuit is, email in. If you got
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, so with all them eating biscuits, I bet they get arse problems, don't they? So you could double up, couldn't you? You could be handing out biscuits in the morning and checking out.
So why would you go and have that done then? What sort of problems then?
What do you mean? Loads of problems.
Like what?
Prostate.
And they've got to go there. They have to like have a little, you know.
Well,
problem.
there was that. I told you that story. That bloke. It's not an apocryphal tale because it's about an orderly's report, and this is the bloke that filled out the form of what happened. He went into hospital basically with a sauce bottle up his arse, and on the report, he said obviously, you know, pleasuring himself using a sauce bottle. And on the report he said that he'd been shopping at Safeways, and he'd come in with his shopping, and he'd forgot his key, so he'd put his bags down on the step, right? And he started climbing up the drain pipe to get in, right? But as he was climbing up, his trousers and pants fell down. He slipped and fell, and the sauce bottle went up his arse. And the orderly said this story would be somewhat believable if Safeway sold their sauce bottles with condoms already attached.
That's like a game of Kaplunk.
So he put, I love that he put a condom on it. I wonder if that was so he didn't want to get an infection from it, or he wanted to use it on his chips later. So waste not, want not.
Bob Dylan, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue from 1960 something.
Bit of trivia for you, Steve.
Go on.
That is the last record we ever played on the old XFM before we were fired.
I bet that was a moving moment for about 8 people.
I just thought of something. You know that thing we did about, they said that we just cared about the money selling it to America?
Yeah.
If we cared about money,
Yeah.
would we be here now? Do you know what I mean?
I know.
think this proves that we don't do things for the money.
Exactly.
Jesus. Alright, Carl?
Couple of emails. Monkey Matt's emailed us.
Who?
Monkey Matt.
Oh, Matty, yeah, go on.
Yeah. He says,
How's the monster?
he's alright. He says, Carl has missed a cracking headline from The Sport. Hide-and-seek champion found dead in cupboard. I hope it's real. I don't know if it is.
I doubt it.
Just looking through some of the news stories that Carl didn't make it into Carl's news roundup.
Yeah.
Just this one you might be interested in. Headline: Woman says partner ran off to become vampire.
Yeah.
And it says a young mother says her partner has dumped her to become a vampire. Rebecca Roberts from Somerset says Matthew Barrett fell for a blood-worshipping woman in a US cult. The 23-year-old mother says he began shaving all his body hair, dressed in black, and used Rebecca's lipstick to redden his eyes. Rebecca caught him performing weird blood rituals in front of his computer at night, cutting himself to prove commitment. She said, I thought it was just a hobby. Everyone's got a right to one. I was pleased he found an interest.
Brilliant.
This is apparently from The Sun. Apparently he's left, he's gone to America, he's living in this Ohio-based cult. But it's the last bit where she's been asked whether or not, if he came back, would she take him back?
Sure.
And this is where I wonder if the journalist, you know how journalists are supposed to just report the news, be objective.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe the journalist here has maybe had some interference.
Made the quote better for them than... Go on.
Because it says, I never thought this would take over his life. Now, if he came back, I'd say fangs, but no fangs.
Oh dear!
I can't believe. Imagine you're the woman, Rick.
Okay.
And I've come round.
You're the journalist.
I'm the journalist, and I've come in and I've said, okay, I read about this.
All I have to do is not say that thing.
You've come. I understand you're obviously quite upset. Your husband's gone
gutted.
off. If he came back, would you take him back?
Definitely not.
Right. What would you say to him then if he came
Just
back?
get lost.
Right, but
I'm really pissed off with you.
Would you perhaps say something a bit more pithy?
Not in this situation, no.
You're upset?
He cuts himself, he drinks blood, he's left me.
Sure,
Sod off. I'm not interested, mate.
Because I tell you what.
Go on.
I mean, I like what you said there, but I wonder if we could condense that a bit more. If he came back, would you say...
Go away.
Would you ever say something like, thanks, but no thanks?
No, because it makes it flippant, because I'm really angry.
I know you're annoyed.
And I'm upset, so I wouldn't say... I certainly wouldn't say thanks. I might say no thanks.
But what if you sort of said it, like, aggressively, like you were giving him the finger? Thanks, but no thanks. Like, you didn't really mean
sort
it.
of sarcastically?
Sarcastically. Would you possibly say
I might say thanks, but no thanks, and that'll be it, and that's that, and I'd leave it there. I'd never change that.
Sure.
I'd never change those words.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Do you like puns?
Hate them.
Right.
I don't like Countdown, I don't like QI, I don't like any of those past Cambridge, Oxford type. I hate puns.
If you had to say thanks but no thanks in the form of a pun, what would you maybe say?
I wouldn't. I never would.
Right.
I'd say thanks but no thanks. I would, I mean, I feel embarrassed that I'd even say that, because I don't think I would even say thanks but no thanks.
Okay.
But if I did go that far, I'd leave it there.
Sure.
So,
have you ever noticed, as I have,
go on.
the similarity between the word thanks and fangs?
Not really.
It's very similar.
Not
Thanks,
really.
fangs,
F-T-H, there's a K.
Fangs very much.
G, it's A and S, well, the A, the N and the S, but that's about it.
Would you agree it sounds marginally similar?
Yeah,
Is it possible you might one day say fangs but no fangs?
I wouldn't know.
Right. I could put that though, could I?
But don't say I said it.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Fangs but no fangs.
Yeah. This is the thing, just, if you ever read an article in The Sun, The Mirror, anything, do not believe it. Really seriously question and query it, because...
If it ends with fangs, no
if
fangs.
If it ends with a pun, almost certainly they never said it.
It's
Stop looking at naked men, then.
No, but sometimes you can't help it because it's been hot, and like you say, there's people walking about with vests on, and that. So anyway, what I'm saying is, say if some incident happened, I'm walking about with my top off.
Right.
Girls are laughing at me, right?
Why?
Dunno, they might.
Yeah, go on. So they wouldn't look at your body, they'd all look at your head.
So what I mean is, rewind that, right, and imagine all that happens again, but I've got someone else's body.
Right.
Whose body?
Just some fella who's died, and my body was injured, and they said, we've got a new body in. You can have it. We'll stick your head on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, say if...
They're laughing at you.
They're laughing at the body. They're laughing
yeah.
at the body.
Yeah.
But at least I'd be able to sort of go, I know it's a mess, but it's not mine. At least I don't have to claim ownership.
So all of this extraordinary technology that can make put one head on another person's body, so you can go, it's not my body.
No.
But
it's not your own.
I'm not being funny though. So if you have a body transplant, right, and you're there, you're at home, naked, you look down, lovely penis and a set of testicles.
Yeah.
Right? What do you do with them?
What do you mean? What am I doing with them?
Well, do you like them?
Well, you wouldn't mess about with them as much as if they were your own.
But if you did mess about with them, would you feel guilty that you were messing about with another man's testicles and penis?
And it's the full body?
Yeah.
No, because they're not my hands either.
You're a genius! You're a fucking genius! So what you're doing is watching someone else wank.
Yeah.
We've been away filming in a sweltering London. About a heat wave here in the capital city, haven't we, Carl?
It's been hot, hasn't it?
Been up to 100 degrees, record-breaking temperatures.
Yeah.
What you been doing, though?
Getting to see the place, having loads of walks, and that. I like to have walks. You know, watching what
like
people
a dog.
are doing.
Yeah, when he jumps off the couch and starts
Exactly.
scratching against the door.
Suzanne thinks it's time.
It's just good thinking time, though, isn't it? As well, having a walk. You've got no other clutter going on around you. And you just think about a lot of stuff. And, you know, like you say, with the weather being hot and stuff, a lot of insects knocking about.
Right.
So I've just been watching them.
so while we've been filming, you've been watching insects?
Yeah, just seeing, because everybody knows insects are out there, but no one's keeping an eye on them.
What are they up to? What are you worried about?
Loads at Steve, you wouldn't be laughing like that if you'd watch them, because they do some weird stuff and that, is what I mean.
What sort of stuff? Any examples?
I saw a bee have a heart attack.
You saw a bee have a heart attack.
Yeah.
How were you sure it was a heart attack?
Because what happened, I'd been
Did
in...
it clutch its chest with all 6 legs?
No,
Were there some other little bee paramedics?
No, I'd just been out in the park anyway, just looking at, you know, caterpillars knocking about, butterflies and stuff, so I was sort of aware.
So when Suzanne goes to work, she goes, Carl, don't you waste the day. I want you to do some constructive stuff.
But the thing is, so I'd been in the park and I was aware of the insects that are around us more than, like, most of the time. And I come out of the park, just crossing, like, a sort of a busy road and what have you, and I saw this bee to the right of me, sort of in the air, and it was a big one, and I was a bit like, oh, let's watch that. And it just fell. It fell from the air in front of me, and it was on the pavement. I thought, oh, what's going on here? And I looked at it for a bit, and it was really still. Gave it a little kick, just to see if there was any movement. Nothing. Stone, sort of, what's the saying? Stone cold dead.
Yeah! Stone cold bee dead.
So,
Yeah.
that
I like
was...
the fact that this bee suddenly saw Carl and had a heart attack.
Yeah.
It'd never seen anything that round before.
Yeah.
It just thought, it had approached him because he thought it was a sunflower.
My God, it's a giant walking orange. Every dream has come true.
No, but it just summed up life for me. I thought, that's like us, isn't it, at the end of the day? They have heart attacks, stress.
You
Living
put it
in-
down to stress, do you?
Well, it's in London, isn't it? You know, everything has stresses from living here.
And they are bald, aren't they? They've got fur all over, but they lose the...
I'm always overweight.
It was a fat, bald bee.
So what did you... It fell to the floor and you instantly... You just kicked it. You didn't
No,
attempt
I
to
waited
revive
a second and just looked at it to see if there was any, you know, leg movement or wing. And there was nothing. And then when I sort of kicked it, it was sort of hard. It had hardened already. It's just...
Rigor mortis had set in.
Rigor mortis had set in.
Did it put you in a bad mood for the day? Because I know things like that can just send you over the edge for the day.
Death and that does a bit. Suzanne doesn't like me talking about death.
What riveting conversations do you come up with?
No, just things like one of our mates has had a baby recently, and I just was saying, oh, when that's sort of our age, we'll nearly be dead.
Think of that.
That's the first thing he says, is a new life brought into the world.
I know.
But when he's our age, we'll be dead.
Yeah.
No, it's
Maybe
weird.
they'll let you do the speech at the christening.
Well, yeah, I've been watching loads of stuff. I've been watching ants. You mentioned ants. I've had a lot of moths in the house. They're sort of sad.
I mean, you say it like it was a
every day.
garden party.
Yeah, well, but all I'm saying is I look at more about what its life is like. Because if you watch something long enough, is what I'm saying, you can see that it's a bit clueless. It's the same way about ants, or, you know, they're hard workers and all that. I watch one, it's going back and forth all the time. They go one way and then they stop and go the other way. They try to look busy in front of the mates. But if you watch one... If you watch one long enough, it's back and forwards, and it's like it's done nothing there.
I'm going to carry this twig back and forth until I can knock off at 4.
There's a lot of that going on.
Is there?
Because there's not. There's none of that going on.
There is. No, like I say, the moth. Depressing little sort of thing.
Why is it depressing?
It hasn't got eyes, has it? You just look at it, it doesn't know what's going on. I just don't... I think if you haven't got eyes, you shouldn't have wings.
That's a rule. If we could put that into practice, please.
That's a great rule. That's a fantastic rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you haven't got eyes, you shouldn't have wings.
I just was reading something about an octopus. That's like a killer octopus. And it annoyed me that this was knocking about now. Because I didn't know, I thought they were quite friendly. Whenever you see them in cartoons and that, they're always happy, aren't they? And then suddenly, like, they've sort of brought the whole sort of creature down. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Well, just you know, when you see them in films, they're running about and that, and everybody likes an octopus. But this one that's on it was your fault, really, because you told me about that frog that's going about killing people.
No, I didn't say that.
So I looked it up on the internet at, like, other creatures and stuff.
.com.
There's some octopus that's in the sea. And what it does, you don't even have to, like, threaten it. It just spits in the water. And if that stuff gets on you, does you in.
Again,
So in a way, it's good knowledge because, I mean, I don't go in the sea anyway because it's full of stuff like that. But that's just reassured me that I'm doing the right thing. If they're knocking about, just gozzing everywhere, you don't even have to be near one. You don't even know if it's been spitting and stuff. It can kill you. It just seems unfair. I haven't harmed it. I haven't gone near it. Why is it getting annoyed with me? Doesn't seem right. So that's where a knowledge has not helped that octopus out. Because now, when you eat them, I just think, yeah, have another one. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of them.
Another conversation with himself. Another conversation with himself. Okay, Carl, I'm just going to throw an animal at you. Tell me how weird it is, what bits annoy you, how you'd change it. Okay? A crab.
How would I change it?
Yeah. Does it annoy you? Do you think it's weird?
They are weird. But they're at that size where they can get away with it.
Yeah, it suits them. Okay, good.
Would I change anything? In a way, you know, what you're saying about things not working, he can't walk forwards. So why hasn't something happened? Why haven't they said, do you know what, these arms are too clumsy. We need to have them so they can slot away easier and we can pull them out when we need them, instead of clumping around with them. Because they do struggle. You see them struggling with their arms. Yet they're still here, they're still doing that, they're still designed that way.
What's the weirdest animal? So you think the octopus is the weirdest animal on Earth?
Yeah.
Why is it any weirder than a dog?
Because it couldn't be further away from us. A dog has got human eyes. If a jellyfish had a pair of eyes like ours, I probably wouldn't worry about him that much. But like I said to you, it's that way that they haven't got eyes, they're floating about. I can handle some fish. They look like they've got eyes. You can make eye-to-eye contact with them. A jellyfish, what are you looking at? It's a snidey thing, like I've said to you. You can see a lot in eyes. Do you know what I mean? They say, don't trust him. Why? It's his eyes. Jellyfish haven't even got any, and I don't trust them. In terms of design and everything, and if you lined everything up, say if I'd come from another planet, and everything was lined up in a row, and they said, right, we're going to give you a crash course in what's knocking about on this planet. Yeah. And you go, right, go on then. And you go, this is man, here's woman, here's a dog, here's a cat, here's an octopus, I go, hang on a minute, what is this? Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones on XFM 104.9. Well, I think the listening public would have enjoyed Knob News there. Oh. So, I mean, there was a lot of Knob News this week.
I was surprised. You know, I would have thought it would be hard sometimes to get Knob News together, but...
I would have thought it would have been part of a bigger news programme, but, I mean, I don't think we'd dedicate a whole, sort of, you know, like John Craven's news round.
Yeah.
A whole 5 minutes to knob-related news. Yeah. There was other news, was there, in the week at all? Carl, it wasn't just all knob-related, you didn't just research.
No, they're the ones that sort of stand out. There was Christ on a crisp.
Right, what's that? That's obviously a crisp that someone vaguely thinks looks a bit like Robert Powell. Yeah. Yeah, what a load of twaddle, yeah.
There was a bloke who can blow up balloons using his ears.
What do you mean?
Look at him.
Well, it's all connected, isn't it? That's, you know, you're just redirecting it, aren't you?
Pointless, though, isn't it? It
is pointless. No, I'm sort of downplaying it like it's no big deal, but it is pretty impressive.
It's not. When was the last time you blew up a balloon?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I mean. It's not needed. It's not impressive. That's what I mean. That's what.
But you can say that about any form of sort of like bizarre entertainment. I don't think you have to hang yourself from hooks. But a lot of people go and see Jim Rose Circus. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't see the.
But would you go and see that?
What a man blowing up balloons did? No. If it was a mate of mine, I'd go, do that thing you can do. I'd, you know, to a group of new friends, I'd go, right, then I'd get on with it. You know, to me, it's below, an average card trick, doing something like that.
Apparently, though, he does make balloon animals with his penis, so,
which is pretty good, isn't it?
Up with his ears, so.
It's always a snake.
Leads
There's a lot of snake. I go, yeah, well done.
back to
Put it
the
away.
news. Right, now listen then. What about another feature we'd like doing?
What?
Song with a story.
Okay, he's been working on this, hasn't he?
He has, hasn't he?
He's like a producer, isn't he?
Yeah.
But with a completely round head.
Just, you know, saying that, you were saying I don't like music, but I'm saying I do if I can hear what they're singing about, and there's a reason to sort of
So
listen to it.
have you turned into 50s dad? What is this?
No, but you know, it's like, it's nice to have a song where you go, you know, I can't turn it off because I need to know how it ends. You know what I mean? It's like a mini...
Right, like a mini film. He
mini
can't
film.
sit through a film unless it's got a grotesque in it. He can watch The Elephant Man because he's getting a glimpse of this. He's waiting to see the bloke's face. That's all he's waiting for, right? And so 3 minutes is about as much as you can maintain his.
Well, last week we did Babushka.
Yeah.
You know, that woman dressing up, sort of tricking her husband, and it sort of backfires and that. Don't know how it ended properly. I don't know if they split up or whatever. But this week,
There's no follow-up. Kate Bush isn't now penning the sequel. Right, go on then. What's this thing?
Pinball Wizard.
Right. Okay. What's the story there?
It's about this sort of deaf, dumb, and blind kid
Right.
who's good at pinball. That's it.
So I don't believe he would be good at pinball.
But even if he is, it's a lot to give up, isn't it? Just for that.
Well, he didn't give it up.
No, but it's not like, well, you can't even say to him, oh, you know, a lot of bad news and that, but you're good at pinball. It's just a bit rubbish. I mean, does he even know he's playing pinball? Is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? And it's not hard, it's just moving the thing, you know, just hitting the buttons hard.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, if he was good at Pac-Man or something, you go, oh yeah. But
It wouldn't scan, would it? Well, I mean, what were they thinking of? What were the Who thinking of when they wrote this?
well, let's have a listen to it.
But, you see, now, being
He's a
deaf,
Pac-Man wizard.
it kind of works.
Yeah.
He's deaf, dumb, and blind, though.
Yeah,
That's pretty grim, isn't it?
it's rubbish, isn't it?
Well, don't say that. Oh, that's alright, I can't hear you.
No, but it is like, it's just the worst, isn't it? I can't imagine what that would be like. It's pointless. I'm being a tapeworm or something, isn't it? It's just... No, but what I'm saying is, what sort of a life is that? It's horrible.
It is a bit like being one of those creatures deep in the ocean.
Well, look, can I just answer your questions? It must be terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, job done.
But would you want a song about it? And, you know, he's good at pinball.
But it's not a real person. I mean, well, we were getting onto the realms of
let's
people with
have a
disabilities,
listen.
but he is not a bloke that existed they sang a song about.
Well, listen to it. Anyway, let's...
Well, it's not a true story. I don't need to listen to
let's
it.
have a listen.
Oh, okay. Pinball Wizard by The Who. A little song with a story there about a little deaf, dumb and blind kid. Thoughts, Carl?
I just, it's depressing, like I say. I don't know why. Is he enjoying playing the game?
I don't know, let's get Pete Townsend on the phone.
Carl, what are you talking about?
I'm just trying to...
Listen to the lyrics, right? Deaf, dumb, blind kid. He can't hear, no bells and bells. He can't see any flashing lights. He plays by sense of smell. Now, I'm pretty sure that isn't a scientific document Pete Townsend is reading out there when he wrote this song. He's making it up.
But the thing is, with all songs or stories, there's got to be a little bit of realism to it. What, do you know what I mean? Why bother putting money in it? Just let him hit the buttons if he's happy.
That's true.
That's a fair point.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
That is great. Yeah, well, I think you've made Daltrey and Entwistle and the whole crew look fools.
Yeah, they won't get fooled again. Nice.
We're supposed to... I mean, of all the thing... I mean, it is horrible. We're not, like, having a go. This is what I always worry about when we play. But at the end of the day, that's what he's singing about, so we're not having a go.
No. And it's not a real person. It doesn't really exist. I say again, it's a fictional person playing pinball and always getting a replay. Okay? This fella's saying that he's good at pinball, he's played from so to point, but there's this little deaf and blind kid. He can't believe it. He cannot believe it.
If you had to lose something, Steve, right?
It wouldn't be money.
That's fair enough.
Your sight or your ears. What?
That's too much. I can't decide. That's too painful. Sight or your ears?
What about you?
Intuitively, it would be your hearing, because I couldn't...
No, I think it's got to be sight for me.
Yeah.
Well, you're always together, so that's alright.
Anyway, listen, is it almost time?
Well, I've got to ask Carl. I'm sorry, I've got to ask Carl.
I'm sorry, go on.
Carl, what would you rather be, deaf or blind? When did this question ever really come up? When the doctor goes, well listen, you've got well we can either lose your eyes or your ears. It's up to you. This is never a decision that has to be made by anyone ever in life. But go on then, would you rather be blind or deaf?
It depends where you live.
I'm not even sure these are PC terms, blind and deaf anymore. Would you rather use your sense of sight or sight of hearing?
Depends where you live.
What do you mean it depends where you live?
Well, say if you lived in, like, a barren sort of, Africa or whatever, right? Out to sea, right?
Sure.
So, you could lose your sight.
Sure. But if you lived in a woman's locker room...
Well, if you lived in...
quite noisy.
Yeah, it's quite noisy.
Stop banging that door.
Yeah, I'll have my sight, lose my hearing.
But if you live in, like, New York, low to sea, but a little bit noisy.
Sure.
So...
Perfect.
That is a brilliant answer. Unbelievable, once again. Can we have monkey news? This show's like one long monkey news, isn't it? When you tune in to hear Karl Pilkington.
I don't know, I'll tell you what, why don't we play a little short track? Right,
what was your short track? What?
What is it, Steve?
It's Green Day. Tell if you like.
A bit of Green Day, we'll cram in the monkey news, we'll play the ads, Justin's here, that'll be that. Right,
go on.
That's what we'll do.
Right. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news!
Right, there's this monkey, right?
Yeah.
And it had been, do you know you hear about monkeys being badly treated and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So, anyway, it goes into this home. It's 14, this monkey, it's called, Matty, right? Goes into this home where it's looked after.
What do you mean home?
Just like, just a little monkey home, right?
Okay, so zoo?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, but they haven't got any other monkeys there, right?
What have they got there?
They've got just other animals and that, but not that many monkeys. But anyway, because he's there on his own, again,
When you say monkey, do you mean a chimpanzee, by the way? Because you usually do.
Yeah.
I can't believe that journalist thought this was scripted.
Amazing.
So anyway, yeah, so he gets sort of pally with the people working there and that, and it's smoking fags, it's having a drink at night and all this, right?
What do you mean it's having a drink at night? How?
It's all here, Steve. I mean, we haven't really got time, but...
Well, don't say it's all here like it's proof. You've got another stupid story that someone has put onto the internet. Someone sitting at home in their bedroom has put onto the internet.
So he's having a fag, he's drinking a lovely glass of Bang Rock Station.
Yeah, the wine is perfect for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's loving life, he's forgetting about his past and everything, right? When this other monkey comes along.
Oh
no.
That was brilliant.
Go on.
Right? That comes in, something's said. Right, forget it then. Forget it.
XFM.